Hi, Happy New Year. Thank you for
Happy New
coming.
Year.
Hi, I have a special guest here, Olga and Yisung family doctor. Hi, Dr. Gan, David Gan. Hi, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Dai Guy. Thank
Hi,
you.
大家你好嘛？
Ni hao ma.
Oh, thank you, and 新年快樂 Happy New Year,
Oh,
新年快樂
some ni hai fao.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. Thank you for taking the time to spend the New Year first day with us and give us a lot of information and resource. And I've been waiting for that for a while. Thank
Oh,
you. Thank
thank you for
you.
having me. I've heard so much about your show. It's a very popular YouTube channel. I'm very proud to be here on your show. Thank you, Wing.
Thanks for taking the time. Yeah, I'm sure everyone's happy to see you, and they all been looking forward to hear a lot of COVID-19, the vaccine. Yeah, it's here, right?
Yay.
Yeah,
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 very
yeah.
exciting. Very exciting to finally have a vaccine, Operation Warp Speed done now in what 9 months, I think, since the virus was identified back in January, February, March. Right now, here we are, December. I already have a vaccine. Last
Is
week, I
it
got my shot.
is it kind of amazing? It's so fast. We can get the vaccine get going. Is it kind of like abnormal?
Well, I think there was a different way to do the vaccine. You maybe saw the news that other countries had made a vaccine months ago. Russia, I think, had, and I think China also had, but now there's a Pfizer vaccine and Moderna vaccine, very, very good, 95% effective at
Woo.
preventing. So I
Wow.
think that was very good not to take a shortcut and maybe have vaccine not as good as it is now because excellent 95%, the best.
Oh, so they didn't take any shortcut at all and still come up so quickly. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think we're very lucky to have such an amazing company and scientists working on this. Yeah, so and if you look at the side effects, they're very mild. So
Like what? What kind of side effect? I know you already took it last week on Wednesday, right?
yeah, just on Wednesday, and I didn't feel anything. Actually, my arm wasn't even sore. My
Really?
wife, she had a vaccine, a little soreness in the arm, but
Oh,
not
okay.
really anything. And most people say they feel nothing. So now, second
Wow.
shot, you have to get first shot and then a second shot
Take
three
another
or
three
4 weeks
weeks.
later. Yeah, depending on which vaccine you got. Moderna, 28 days later. Pfizer, 21 days later. So depending, that's the schedule. But second shot maybe more effect, maybe more side effect. We don't
Oh,
know.
really? Oh, but
Probably
nobody.
with other vaccines, like second shot is a little stronger.
Oh, since it's stronger. So
So maybe you have a
have
more side effect the second time.
do you have any patient or people you know have the second shot yet?
No, no, no. The very first patient in the United Kingdom received their second shot, I believe, 2 days ago. So
Oh,
nobody, it's really very,
nobody
very,
know.
very new. No, we don't know. Yeah, mystery.
Oh, oh
But
my
I
God.
think, I hope it's going to be very, very good. There were some allergy reaction in some patients with Pfizer vaccine, but very rare, maybe three, four, five out of a million. So that's not so bad. And with the Moderna vaccine, there was a report of allergic reaction if you had a lip injection, if you had a lip
Oh,
cosmetic filler,
oh,
then
they'll get allergy if we got
then they would have
few.
a swelling and irritation wherever they had the injections. So yeah, for those
Oh,
patients, they may want to talk to their doctor, and they have a Benadryl and a prednisone before or after if they have a reaction.
how come? Is it the chemical like some not mixing it right?
I think it has to do with the body immune system looking at the lip fillers and thinking that it is a virus. And so it gets
Really?
confused.
Oh, that's
Yeah, but I don't
interesting.
think it's a chemical problem. It's just a immune system
Immune system.
confusion.
Oh,
Hmm.
that's interesting. Okay, let me translate a little bit in Chinese before I forget everything. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
咁啊，Doctor 根咧佢就話呢個COVID-19嗰個疫苗咧就好有效啦，95%有效。佢亦都打咗咯，上個星期三。咁咧佢就一啲反應都冇，非常之好。佢太太都打咗，就有少少痛痛地啦，但係都冇乜嘢問題。咁但係咧呢個疫苗咧就3個禮拜到4個禮拜要打多次。咁但係呢個疫苗3、4個禮拜第二支疫苗咧就會可能會多啲反應嘅，但係暫時未有人打過，係喺英國有一個 patient 打過，所以冇人知道會個效果係點樣，個效果。咁但係第一支疫苗打咗咧，如果你有個 lip 嘅唇做咗整個容打嗰啲唇整大咗嗰啲唇咧，咁你就會有反應嗰啲叫做敏感反應。所以如果你有打過唇嘅整容嗰啲唇嗰啲 shot， 就要同啲醫生傾下啦。咁呢個幾緊要啊！呢個嘅information。Thank you for the lip things, the allergy. I think that's important, and then people have it's pretty common. A lot of people have that kind of procedure. So if someone have that, they should talk to the doctor, have some medication before that. Yeah,
Yeah, at least talk to their doctor. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the shingle shot. That one is, I think, more painful than and the COVID-19 shot sound like I was pain for 2-3 days. Yeah, yeah.
So we'll have to see if the second the second COVID-19 vaccine gives a reaction like the second shingles shot. Was this your first shot or second shot?
The first one.
So the first
second one
is
even
not
more?
so bad. Second one is worse. Second one, maybe
Oh, no.
1 day, 2 day fever. You feel sick. So yeah, you have to be careful. You don't want to confuse yourself and think you came down with coronavirus after your second shingle shot.
Oh, yeah, the first one. I'm glad you told me I won't feel good for like a couple of days. I was out for like about 2 days, really hurt. Yeah, but I don't have fever, so I have to prepare for the second one. So the COVID-19, the second one could be a more symptom too, right?
Possible. We'll have to watch the news and see if that is reported or not. Hopefully, it's not too bad. The thing that I'm most concerned about, Wing, with the coronavirus, though, is people not getting the vaccine. Actually, very surprising. When normally we spend all this time and money to make a good vaccine, and now people, they say, no, I don't want to get it, which to me is very surprising.
Yeah.
You should always have a vaccine you're offered. Yeah.
I heard a lot on the news too. A lot of people, with even the frontline worker, they refuse to take it. So so what's the percentage of people taking the vaccine? About do you have about 50% at least?
Well, I know in Ohio, right? In Ohio, in United States, there was a report yesterday of nursing home workers, and 40% of the workers there said no.
Oh,
they didn't want to have it. So that was
so
60% said yes, but 40%, that's so many. You would think maybe only 5% of people wouldn't want it, but here 40%. And they're healthcare workers, so they should know the good benefit from vaccine. So that's concerning. If many people don't take the vaccine, we won't have a good effect.
Yeah,
right? One of the reasons vaccines work so well, as you know, because they help protect a person and they protect a group. But if you don't have a lot of people take it, then it's not as good.
So I read some research paper. They say at least 70% people had the vaccine in order to work, right? If less than 70% people getting the vaccine and it's not going to work and we still going to get sick. Is that true?
Yes, 70%. It depends upon the virus. infectivity, how contagious the virus is, and it depends upon how much virus is in the community. So there are a few variables. Dr. Fauci, Dr. Fauci, recently last week, he came out and said, actually, we thought 70%, but now
But
maybe
not.
more, 80%, 85%, maybe 90% need to
Oh,
take the vaccine
wow.
because the new coronavirus variant, the UK variant, is so much more contagious. So yeah, not good
Oh,
news. I think when people not taking the vaccine, hopefully this program will help to people to realize taking the vaccine is a good idea.
yeah. As a patient, your doctor, if I refuse to take it, what can you do, or what can advice you can give it to me to in order for me to realize I should take it? Or
Yeah, I
what
mean,
can you
I
do
have a lot
when
of
I refuse?
patients.
What can you do?
Well, I think the first step is to ask the patient why. Why don't you want to take the
I'm
vaccine?
scared. I'm scared.
Scared? What are you scared of, Wing?
Well, because it's so new, I'm not sure if it's going to work. What if I got sick or die? So because we heard some news that people get the vaccine and die, right, in other countries.
Well, yeah, so fear, when people are afraid, they're not thinking with their brain, they're thinking with their heart. And you can't explain why something is a good reason to someone who's afraid. The best way you can help that person is to listen to them and listen when they have expressed themselves, and then you hear them. That will make people feel less afraid sometimes. Yeah.
Okay, so you just need
So
the concern to need to
yeah,
know
you
the
have to
concern.
listen to the patient. Say, why are you afraid? And then if you can tell them something specific, not just vague platitudes of, oh, it'll be okay. That won't convince anybody. But if you can tell people that 1,000 people had the vaccine and only one person had a reaction, then for many people, they will say, oh, okay, not that bad. And then they
Okay.
can get the vaccine. But you have to have a good understanding of the data, of the science, to be able to give somebody a good information.
Okay, so how accurate about the data? A lot of people kind of concerned about the data, how accurate, even the death rate. I heard some people say the hospital, some people die in cancer, and they would write that patient out about dying COVID-19. So
Mhm.
what is
Yeah,
our
so
concern?
how do we determine when someone dies from COVID 19? Okay, what you have to know about COVID 19 is it affects many people different way. So, COVID 19, we think cough, fever, lung problem, pneumonia, right? But
Mhm.
actually, many people who have COVID 19 die from heart or heart attack, right? Because the virus will attack the heart muscle and give heart attack, or the virus will affect the artery and give blood clot, and blood
Mm,
clot will go to the brain for stroke. Or
mm,
so there's different ways that the COVID 19 can kill people. I
mm,
had, for example, one patient 2 weeks ago, very healthy, 50-year-old man, no medical problem, very good blood test, good blood pressure, exercise, no smoking, no diabetes, very healthy. I only get to see him once a year. He's so healthy. I say, don't come back 1 year. You're good. But he got COVID 19 and he had blood clot pulmonary embolus in both of his lungs. He had to go to hospital, almost died. Okay, so that
wow.
is why you can have healthy people get have dying from COVID. And so let's say you were not so healthy, Wing. Let's say you had a medical problem. I don't know. You pick one. Um, but
Um, You know me. You
No, but I don't
say.
want to talk about your medical history. But all I'm saying is,
Okay, say
let's say
I have
you had some
cancer.
other
Okay,
medical
say I
history.
have cancer. So I
Say you
say
had
I
a
have
cancer.
cancer. Okay.
So you had a cancer and then you got COVID-19.
Yeah.
Now, if you go in the hospital and you die from blood clot, is it from the breast cancer or the cancer you had that caused the blood clot, or did the blood clot get caused by COVID-19? You
If
tell
it
me,
caused
doctor.
if it caused by COVID-19, of course I die in COVID-19, right?
Well, who knows, right? Maybe you can get a blood clot from cancer too, but probably from COVID-19, right? So
Mm,
those are the types of decisions that you as a doctor have to make to say, look, she had just a little cancer. She just got COVID-19. The next week, she had a big medical problem. Probably that's from COVID-19, no?
mm,
And so those types of decisions, the lay people who don't work in medicine, maybe they've never filled out a death certificate before. Death
mm,
certificate, you put down the number one, number two, number three, number four reasons people die, not just
mm,
number one, COVID. So
mm,
if on the death certificate it says, okay, you had cancer and you had blood clot, but you also had COVID-19, then that counts as COVID-19 related death. Honestly,
mm,
I think that's reasonable because
mm,
if you had COVID-19 um, and you were in the hospital, then you're not doing good. There are many people
mm.
who have COVID-19 and they don't go to the hospital. Okay.
Yeah.
So for people who have COVID-19 and do go to the hospital, then it's reasonable to say COVID-19 is making them sick, I think. Right.
Okay, got it. Okay. So you say the data is pretty reliable based on what you say because they have to put the cost and they have a lot of reason they put on death certificate. So we should trust the data based
I
on what
think
you say.
so. Yeah, I think so. Honestly, filling out the death certificate, the doctor does a lot of thinking. When they have to put
Mm,
it down and sign their name, they don't just write down something lazy. They make a
mm,
good effort and think and try to have a good decision on why the patient died. So,
okay.
if you don't believe things that you don't know anything about, it's easy to be suspicious. But if you have a faith and trust in your doctors and people then I think it's more easy to agree that COVID-19 is having a big effect on people's lives.
Okay, I'm glad you asked you. I have a doctor I can trust to ask because a lot of stuff I'm not sure. That's why I want to talk to you. This is my question too. So let me translate a little bit.咁
Yep.
Doctor Gen 咧就話咁而家個 COVID-19 咧就有疫苗，但係好多人都冇信心去打。佢大約有40%嘅人係唔打，even 佢哋係即係係分 healthcare worker 嚟㗎，因為佢哋好需要打保護人哋、保護自己，但係佢哋都冇打。咁咧，因為而家個 COVID-19 變種啦，咁咧就其實需要85%或者多過85%人去打先至。會有用嘅。如果好多人唔打咧，就算有疫苗咧，嗰、個病菌都會繼續落去嘅。咁所以佢呼籲啲人要需要去打。咁我話俾你聽，好多人就好驚啊，可能就怕打咗會死啊咁樣。咁佢話其實最緊要知道呢個病人嘅有啲咩佢要憂慮咯。咁要解釋俾個病人聽佢嗰啲數據啊，譬如佢有1000人打得一個人有事嘅啫，應該其實都冇乜 concern 應該要打嘅。咁佢話俾你聽就唔使恐慌啦，因為呢個疫苗有95%都係冇事嘅。咁佢呼籲人哋打啦。咁我同佢講，咁啲數據啱唔啱咧？譬如好多人死咗咧，癌症啊咩症，咁都話係 COVID-19 死嘅。咁佢話佢as a doctor 佢就話。為一個病人死，佢要簽紙嘅，咁咧個病因咧真係要好明朗，係真係 COVID-19 死先至會寫落去嘅，咁所以佢話啲數據應該會正確嘅，咁係啦。 As a doctor and a frontline worker, I know you risking your life to help people. Even I go to see you, and then you working at a hospital clinic every day. Would you concern as a doctor? The COVID-19 is pretty serious out there. It sounds like. So how do you feel when you're working every day at the hospital?
You know, Wing it. Honestly, you do you do think about it, right? It's
I know you
impossible
have
not to think
kids.
about it.
I know you have kids, like you have two young kids, twins too. I thought you remember you have a twin and three, right? You have three now, right? Three young kids and a beautiful wife and a family. And I'm as a doctor, if I were a doctor, I will be a little bit, concerned too. How do you take it?
But let me tell you a story.
Okay.
Today is Friday. Today Friday.
Every day Friday for me. It's
Lucky
good
you,
that every
Jay.
day working.
Uh, so on Monday, I saw a patient first thing in the morning. My first patient, and just for a physical checkup once a year, healthy patient, and they told me they were feeling good. I said, "How are you doing today?" She said, "Oh yeah, good. I had a little head cold last week. I had a little headache, a little congestion." She said, "But I got a COVID test, and it was negative. And now I'm feeling better. I had took a little Tylenol. I'm feeling better." Okay, so I said, "Oh, okay, good." I didn't think too much about it at the time because of what she just told me. But last night, I discovered I got a message from my patient that she had a COVID test, and she was positive. Just found out,
Oh,
and that was the same patient I saw on Monday.
wow.
Now, here's the scary thing about coronavirus: is you can spread it, and you don't even know you have it. So, in that situation, I was in the room with her for 20, 30 minutes talking. Now, if she hadn't been wearing her mask and I hadn't been wearing my mask, I would have had coronavirus for sure.
Mm.
And honestly, I'm still a little worried I may have gotten it. So I'm going to take
Oh,
a coronavirus test tomorrow.
oh, wow.
And I'm not sleeping in the bedroom with my wife and my kids. I'm sleeping outside in a tent because
Wow.
I don't want to take any risk to affect my family and my children.
Yeah,
So yeah, a little scary.
that's tough.
And but what am I going to do? I'm not going to stop working. I'm not going to stop helping people.
Yeah.
So we just have to try and wear masks, be safe, and pretend that everybody has coronavirus in those situations.
Okay, that's a good one. So pretend everyone have virus. So keep it safe, wear a mask. So when you're home, do you wear a mask with your kid? Do you have to do that?
Well, normally I don't. Normally, when I have a good week, I don't have any surprises.
Uh
Then I
huh.
take my mask off,
Uh
and
huh.
there it is. You have to live a little bit too. You can't live your
Yeah.
whole life in fear, but
Yeah.
you can't be stupid and careless. You have to be careful, cautious, because you don't want to hurt people you love.
Yeah.
So no, I don't wear a mask at home. Um, for better or for worse, you know.
Mm. Okay. Wow, that's tough. Yeah, it's a doctor have to sacrifice so much. So you say you might worry about you have positive now. So after you get the vaccine, if you become positive, do you think it will help you better than without vaccine?
Mm. So if you get a vaccine,
Uh-huh.
and then you have a second shot, then after a few weeks, you should have immunity. Okay,
Oh, because you only
95%.
have because you only have one shot, so you might be still not that
Yeah, the
safe
first
yet.
shot for Pfizer only 50% effective. Okay, if you took 100 people
Oh.
who had the first vaccine and
Got
you
it.
had somebody with coronavirus cough on them, only 50 people would get the coronavirus. The other
Oh,
half wouldn't. So that's some protection,
oh, I
but
got
not
it.
100%. Its second shot
Oh.
makes 95% effective.
Oh, okay. So even you get the vaccine, you can still test positive because it's not totally protecting you, the vaccine. So you
That's
getting second shot a few weeks later, if you in contact with some positive patient, then you might not get a positive result because the vaccine protecting you. That's how it works.
that's right.
Oh, okay, I got it. I got it. So that's why you still need to take the test because if you become positive, you're still carrying the virus in you and you still get sick and you can still be risky, have a lot of symptom and problem, right?
Yeah. So, for example, in my situation, I had patient encounter on Monday. Now, let's say she gave it to me just for theoretical sake. If
Okay.
she gave it to me on that day, then I would have probably 2 days before I would start shedding the virus, right? Because the virus goes inside of me and then it has to grow and then it has to go to my mouth and be spread that way. So I probably, even if I got infected, the next day is okay. But the day after that, then I can start to spread it. And I still feel fine, right? This is the
Okay.
tricky thing about coronavirus is that people who get an infection before
No
they start
symptom.
feeling bad, before they feel sick, they are breathing the virus out, right? And
Mm.
then they're giving it to other people. And then 2 days later, they start feeling some symptom. Now, if
Mm.
they're smart at that point, they would say, oh, I should go get a test, make sure I don't have coronavirus. And then they stop spreading the virus because they're wearing masks, they're being safe, etc. But remember, 2 days they were sitting there spreading virus before they had any symptoms. That's called
Oh.
pre-symptomatic transmission.
That's about 2 days. So after, if you contact with someone after 2 days, then you usually start having symptom after 2 days. Is that
You
how it
know,
works?
after you have contact with coronavirus patient, it takes about 2 days for your body to start making virus. Then you can spread it, but you have time, maybe a day or 2 days, until you show symptoms after that.
Oh, so about 5 days to show symptom if you
So
get
yeah,
contact.
maybe 5 days between when your contact was until when you start to show symptoms, and you're spreading it before then. So
Oh,
that's why I say you have to
scary.
pretend that everybody has coronavirus, or you
Mm,
have to be safe and pretend so that you don't
mm,
end up accidentally giving it to somebody when you didn't even know you had it.
mm. So the
It's very
best
tricky.
way, yeah. So the best way to protect ourselves and other people is to wear masks, right?
Yeah, wear a mask. Please wear a mask. Yeah. And
Mm,
if you're gonna be around somebody else, then for sure you have to wear a mask, and for sure you shouldn't stay too long in a closed room.
area.
Yeah. You shouldn't be going to singing school or going to big group activity. Yeah, that's risky. Too risky. Not worth it.
Okay, so let me just try. There's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah，咁啊，Doctor Gun 咧，我就佢講咗一個佢自己親身經歷嘅故事啦，其實都唔係故事，啱啱親身經歷。星期一咧，佢就有個 patient 見咗，咁咧佢嗰陣時咧個 patient 就未病嘅，咁但係而家咧個 patient 咧就 test 咗 positive 啦，咁佢自己咧亦都好擔心啦，因為佢雖然有第一個嘅 vaccine 喺度。咁但係都未完全 protect 到佢，佢而且有屋企有好細嘅小朋友啦，有個孖仔啦，亦有個啱啱出世冇幾多個小朋友啦，咁佢咧就要唔翻到屋企咧就唔可以同佢一齊一間房度瞓啊，都要隔離下咁啦，即係做醫生都要好犧牲好大咯。咁佢而家都要等緊佢嘅 result，希望佢冇 positive 啦，我哋都同佢祈禱，希望佢冇事啦。咁啊，因為佢話呢個嘅virus 咧就有 初初佢冇 symptom 都可以散出去嘅，要5日大約。如果你 同有人有 contact 嘅，possibly 有5日嘅時間咧，你先至會開始會病。咁但係嗰5日內你就可以已經傳染咗俾好多人嘅，所以佢要成日帶住個 mask 都要好小心咯。I really hope your test will be negative. When are you going to know your test result?
Probably only a few
Next
hours
Monday?
after I have the test. Yeah. I will find out just a
Next
few
Monday?
hours after I have it.
Next Monday, you're going to test it and then find
I'm
out
gonna
next
test.
Monday?
No, I'm gonna test before I go back to work. So Sunday
Oh,
I'll have a test, and then I'll find
oh,
out
and Monday?
Sunday afternoon. No,
Oh,
I won't. I'm not gonna go back to work until I know I have a negative test, and even
okay.
then I'll be wearing mask, of course.
Oh my God.
You know, there's two
So,
types of test, Wings. The one that goes in your nose, PCR,
mhm.
that one is the best test.
Oh, really? Oh,
And
okay.
for people who are worried, they think they probably have coronavirus, then they should get the PCR test. But some patients, they don't think they have coronavirus, but they have to get one, maybe for airplane travel,
Uh-huh.
or they have to have a procedure. So they get another test because everyone has to have it. And those people can probably get the quick test, the mouth test, or just a quick 5-minute test. That's probably okay for some people who have a low risk. But for patients who have high risk, maybe they had exposure, someone they love was around them, they found they had COVID, then they should have a PCR test to know for sure because they have a high suspicion. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. So say I'm thinking maybe I got little symptom, I'm thinking I got sick. What should I do? Where can I get those tests?
Yes. So for USA patients or for Hong Kong patients?
Say for USA, like for here, what should I do?
Yeah. So if somebody has the symptoms of coronavirus, they don't feel good, they feel sick, maybe they have fever, cough, maybe they have a headache, muscle ache, bathroom problem. For those patients, they should have a first thing they should do is put a mask on.
Okay.
Okay. And they should stay away from other people. That's
Okay.
most important. You start feeling no good, make sure you have your mask on, even around your family, at home. You say, oh, I've been around these people all week. That's okay. Still put a mask on because you don't know that you gave it to other people. So you want to be safe and protect other people first. Put a mask on, stay at home, stay away from other people. The second thing you want to do is call your doctor and virus test. And that one, if you can do it, right, because you can not have to expose anybody else and it's quick. Um, and the results, they come back fast. Most people are having results back in a number of hours. So that's a
Okay.
very effective way to have an answer to a question. Of course, you know there are lots of different disease that can give coronavirus symptoms, right? You could still have the cold or flu or another virus. So you can't say for sure you have coronavirus until you have the test. So yeah, isolating, mask, have a test, and then I can tell you there are some treatments that patients can use. Maybe they're helpful. Um, Probably they're not bad. Vitamins. I can tell you for patients who have early symptoms, I'm recommending a vitamin D,
Vitamin D.
1,000 units a day,
Okay.
1,000 milligrams a day, and zinc, 220 milligrams daily. But with zinc, you can't take it for more than 2 weeks.
Oh,
Okay, so make sure you only take it for a week or two, 220 milligrams zinc,
okay.
and then aspirin, baby aspirin, 81 milligrams. If they don't have any problem with bleeding ulcer, if they don't have Plavix or Coumadin, another blood thinner. If they have no history of problems with low platelets or other condition, then probably safer for them to take baby aspirin, but not for everybody. Have to ask your doctor about baby aspirin if it's safe for you or not. But that will help those patients, I think, to reduce the chance of having a heart attack or blood clot, and will reduce their symptoms in many patients, I think. We don't know for sure, but that's what I'm recommending to my patients because there's no other good treatment, right? Now, if they have a low oxygen, if they don't feel good at all, they feel short of breath, they have a really bad, severe symptom, then they have to go to the hospital. And many people can be scared of going to the hospital, but you have to go if you're really feeling not good. Okay. The other thing I'll mention for coronavirus is oxygen saturation, right? You know, the finger, the little machine that goes on your
Yeah,
finger
yeah.
to tell you what your oxygen level is. This one, for most people, they have oxygen level 100%, 98%. But for some people who get coronavirus, their oxygen level will go down.
To
They
how
will
many
have
percent?
92%, 93%, and they feel fine. They say, no, no, I don't feel short of breath. I don't feel tired, but their oxygen level goes down. Okay. Those people have to go to the hospital because they
Even
will
92%,
not
you have to go to the hospital?
feel if it from so for many people who have no lung disease, if your oxygen level is normally 100%, which is not everybody, okay?
Right.
If you're a long-term smoker, you have COPD, you have other lung problem, maybe your oxygen level is low already. So for those people, they have to ask their doctor. But for a normal person, no lung disease, oxygen level is normally 98, 100%. If they get coronavirus, for many people, those oxygen numbers will go down. And normally, when your oxygen level goes down, you will feel short of breath. You'll feel hungry for air, like you just can't catch your breath, you know. But the special thing about coronavirus wing is that the oxygen level will go down, but they feel normal.
Ah, that's
Yeah,
scary.
very scary. You can have oxygen level 80% and you
You
feel
don't feel
fine.
it. So you
Right.
have to
So there,
test it. So you that one is important to test it. So you say go down to 92%, then they should go to hospital if we
if
if
it goes, if it's 90 under 94%,
under 94, they should go to hospital. So important to get that little thing at home then, right?
yeah, I tell all my patients you should have oxygen meter for your finger because you might feel like you need to check and then you don't have any ability to do that.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I think I got it before it all gone. I got it all that before I'm gonna let people know everything in the order. Okay, so that's a really good advice. Thank you. So we need to get the oxygen meter. So 94% if we test at home, even though sometimes we don't know we're positive or not, right? We test it at home. It's a 94%. We should go to the hospital or even to call the doctor. Is that true?
If you have coronavirus,
What if I
for
don't?
patients who have coronavirus,
What if I don't? Say I don't have problem or I don't even know, right? I didn't get tested.
if they don't know coronavirus, yeah, then you have to ask your doctor because maybe you have a lung disease and you didn't know it. Maybe it's a bad, maybe your finger, some patients, if they're old and they have a cold hand, then me make it look low. It's not. Cold fingers, or if you have a fingernail polish, you have to be careful
Oh,
with those symptoms, right? The oxygen
oh,
meter doesn't read so good if you have a fingernail polish. So take off
oh.
your fingernail polish, warm up your hands, make sure you have a good fluid. Okay, you can't be dehydrated and use it. So, but if everything else is normal, then number you want to look for is 94% and lower.
Okay, 9% lower. That's very that's you probably save a lot of people's life here. Because if I don't talk to you, sit down talk to you a lot of information I don't even know a lot of time. I don't think I find even research talk about it so details.
Yeah,
Yeah,
translate. That's good.
yeah, okay, that's important. Thank you. Doctor 今日俾咗個好重要嘅消息我哋，佢就係話要買嗰啲叫做 oxygen meter 喺個手指度夾住，咁就可以 check 到你個 oxygen。因為佢話咧個 coronavirus 咧好 tricky 嘅，佢就係就算你唔夠 oxygen 個身體，但你唔知道嘅。咁好多時咧，你好多時你唔夠氧氣，你會喘氣噶嘛，但係 corona 唔會㗎。咁跌到如果你有 positive 嘅話 corona positive，如果你個 oxygen 跌到94%以下咧，你就要即刻要去醫院㗎啦，因為隨時咧裏邊唔夠氧氣，你唔知道你就好危險。如果你冇 corona， 如果你冇 test positive negative 94以下咧，你即刻要打俾醫生，可能你有其他嘅問題啊咁。但係佢話 test 嗰陣時最緊要唔好有指甲油啦，同埋要個身體要暖啲啦，手指唔好咁凍啦。咁咧你就 test 嗰陣時就會準確啲，因為有陣時如果啲手指甲油黐住都唔會準確。咁佢又就話你去。最好又強壯啲身體啦，咁就好多時咧就食維他命 D 1000個milligram 一日，同埋鋅就係250個 milligram 就一日，但係就唔可以食多2個禮拜嘅。咁盡量同埋食 aspirin 啦，對個身體如果你冇其他問題都可以食，咁唔會有個 blood clot 嗰啲會對身體都好㗎。咁呢啲嘅即係中谷都好緊要啦，即係幫到大家點樣去解決呢個 COVID-19 好多問題咁樣咯。Oh my God, I'm so happy to talk to you today. I feel like this is such an important lesson in my life. I should talk to you even earlier. Luckily, my family doesn't have a lot of problem, but I'm sure a lot of people really want to know that. So for the test center, you recommend to call the doctor, then the doctor refer us to go test. Or some people even, I go online, sometimes I can check some test center. I can even go there and make appointment. Do you recommend us to just go to the online and make appointment to go to the test center? Or should I call you first before even I go do any tests?
Well, right now there are not enough tests to go around. So we have too many people who need to have a test. And so testing is very good, I think. The more testing, I think, is the better, because you'll find, as we have been seeing in other countries, coronavirus can hide. And on like big apartment complex, hundreds of people that live there, and it spreads because people don't know they have it. So in those situations, more testing is very good. But for right now, in our current situation here in Southern California, better for patients to contact their doctor if they are worried about having coronavirus. If they have the symptoms, then I think okay to test. You don't need a doctor if you know what the symptoms of coronavirus are and you think you have it, it's not allergies or whatever, then yeah, get a test. But what I don't want your listeners to do is say, well, I feel fine, but I should go get a test to be sure. Probably those situations better to talk to your doctor if you can.
Okay, got it. OK， 咁Doctor 跟問佢因為而家好多時候都可以上網自己去make appointment 去 test 嘅。咁Doctor 就話，因為而家尤其是而家 LA 啦，好多其實都唔係好夠 test 嘅。咁佢就話最好留翻啲 test 俾人。如果你有 symptom 覺得自己病啦，咁就去 test。咁如果你覺得自己身體冇乜嘢啊，唔好就去求其都 test 下咯。咁應該留翻啲 test 俾人。咁但係如果你都想去覺得自己有啲問題又唔 sure， 最好就同醫生講下先，同你個醫生，咁你醫生決定究竟你需唔需要去 test 先至去 test， 所以即係唔好亂咁去 test 咯，都係。 That is a really good one because I know some people they just want to know if they have the coronavirus just to make sure have a peace of mind. So we should not do that. Say if I don't have any problem, I should not just go for a test just to make myself feel better. So we should not do that, right?
Yeah, and also Wing, that's a very good way to look at it, because if patients go to get the coronavirus test, let's say they don't listen to us right now. They say, I'm going to go get a test. I need to know. So if they go to get a coronavirus test and it's negative, they may actually the next day get it.
True.
All it tells you is right now, at this moment. But
Hmm.
remember, you can have 2 days where the virus is inside of you growing. Test is negative, but you will become positive. And so
Oh,
then patients feel safe when really it's
no.
it's still inside of you. So it can be a little falsely reassuring if you have been exposed to coronavirus, you didn't know, and then you act as if you don't have a test, you don't have a coronavirus, but you do.
Now you make more sense now because I know that sometimes they say the test is not so accurate. It's because the 2 days. If you the timing to test is very important. The 2 days might you have it, but it might still come out negative, right?
Yeah.
So you have to be after 2 days, after the virus growing you after 2 days, then your test will become more accurate. So even the first time you test negative, but you still have symptoms, you get worse, then you should go test again because it's the timing, right? Oh,
Timing is very difficult to understand if you don't know these things, right? If you
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. Now you explain to me, then I understand much better. So
Oh,
now I
good.
understand why some people saying that, they blaming on the test. They say it is not working, right? They say I tested negative, but later I become positive. So they screaming at the doctor, they screaming at the nurse. They say the test is not correct and all that stuff. So it's a scientific way to explain it why it happened. So listen to the doctor again. Now we understand much better. So yeah, so I think the best thing is to call the doctor, have the doctor follow up to know exactly what's happening, what to do, right? Yeah, so
If you
like
can.
I yeah, it's like I talking to you, I learn so much more and understand better. Like you say, you don't believe the data or the everything, but after you kind of understand it, so you know what's happening, it's easier.
Yeah, thank you so much thank you so much for allowing me to explain these things on your program.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time. I really appreciate. I have a really good lesson to understand so much better. And if it happened, what to do. Even before, I can take some vitamin to make myself stronger and feel better. And I'm so glad I have you to be here, my guardian angel. Right? Everyone need a doctor again to be here. So I hope your test will be okay so you can be here to help more people. Don't get sick, okay?
Thank you, Wing. Yes, let's do
Yeah.
this again sometime soon.
Yeah, maybe after you get the second shot, because I want to see how you feel about the second shot and let me know what other patient. So, okay, one last question I forgot to ask. When is our turn to get the shot? I know you get the shot, so when will be our turn?
Okay, so just today, our governor of California, Gavin Newsom, released the next timeline for the next round of vaccinations. I think most people who are watching this program, do you know, Wing, how old they are?
Probably my age.
So very, very young then. Well, younger people
A
going to have to
baby.
wait longer. Exactly. I think in January, many people who are wondering about their vaccine will get a vaccine in January.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Within the next 2 to 4 weeks, a lot of people will have opportunity to have a vaccine.
Even for
Uh,
young people like us?
so for first group to have it age 75 and older, so not you.
Oh,
But soon after that, then 65 and older, and also people who are in the community. there are many different groups and categories of workers, essential workers, engineers, teachers, people who need to have a vaccine early. And those people will be given opportunity for vaccine, I suspect, this month. If you look at the news reports today, it looks good. So I don't think we're going to have to wait as long as we think we are, but probably when new president is in office, then it will go even faster, because right now, a little slow, right?
Because they're too busy to do a lot of other stuff.
Well, I don't know why it's taking so long, if it is just a matter of manpower or if it has something to do with the cold vaccine has to be stored. I think it probably a lot of different reasons, but we can all agree it's a little bit too difficult to get a vaccine right now. So I would say this month, look in the news closely, and soon you will have opportunity for vaccine, I believe.
So for me, maybe this month too, or the
Yeah,
February.
I hope you can get it this month.
Oh, okay. So the new and now follow the guideline what to do, or the doctor office will call me to get a vaccine.
Yeah, the doctor's office will call you here for UCLA. We have automations via telephone, email, and electronic message. So for you, you'll have a notice on your My Chart.
Oh, okay. So let me explain a little bit. Yeah, so 啲觀眾咧最後呢個 question 啦，Doctor 森就係 Doctor 根就係話呢個月咧，希望呢個月底咧，我哋都可以打到啦。咁你哋咧就要留意新聞啦，同埋新聞同埋留意你個醫生佢會打電話俾你就可以打到噶啦。咁你哋大家都要留意啦，係啦。咁呢個我哋咧就希望 Doctor 根咧就會可以俾啲好消息我哋快啲啦咁樣。Thank you so much for your time. I won't take too much time from your family, and so hope you still stay healthy and the test become negative, and so you can go back to work and help more people. Yeah, thank you for all your information. I really appreciate it. It's all a really good, important information, and I look forward to get the vaccine from you and a call from you. Yeah.
My pleasure, Wingo Jay. Thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, 多謝 too. Okay, thank you. Happy New Year. You have a good day and a good year. Okay, thank you. Bye. Bye. Thank you.
Hi，多謝大家收睇我嘅節目，記得 subscribe and 俾 like 啦。